Hello folks, my name is Rich Keener. I'm the Village Manager for the Village of Villa Park, and today's one of our segments where I'll be discussing the upcoming board agenda. So the board agenda that I'll be talking about on today's segment is going to be August 13th. And so folks, let's start. So as I always say, the board meeting starts promptly at 7 o'clock here at the Village Hall at 20 South Ardmore. And again, we're talking about Monday, August 13th. So the agenda is as follows. Number one is the roll call to order. Number two is the Pledge of Allegiance. Number three is public comments on agenda items. And folks, that's the appropriate time for anyone in the audience to come to the podium and be recognized by the president of Villa Park to comment on agenda items. Number four is amendments to the agenda, and that's the appropriate time for the president or board of trustees to modify the formal agenda. Number five is consent agenda, and folks, we have two items, A and B. So A is minutes from the board meeting held on July 23rd, 2018, and B, bill listing for the weeks of July 23rd, July 30th, and August 6th, 2018 for a total amount of $889,897.29. So moving on for Monday night is number 6 is first reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, clarifying the requirements for tattoo and body piercing establishments. A resident is seeking the ability to open a body art business, and current out-of-date regulations and village code are preventing the resident from opening his business within the Village of Villa Park. As the state of Illinois revised its rules and regulations for the operations of tattoo and body piercing establishments almost a decade ago, an ordinance revision is necessary to keep the village current with those regulations. So folks, number 6 is pretty simple. We have a gentleman who would like to open a new business in Villa Park. It's a relocation from Chicago to Villa Park. He happens to be a resident, and he would like to open a body art business. So obviously I just read our code has not been updated in over a decade, so it's time to revisit our code, revise it if the board so desires, and should be an interesting topic to be discussed Monday night. So number 7, moving on, is a first reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, amending the licensing regulations for liquor licenses, providing for automatic reduction in the number of licenses upon relinquishment. Well, Al, we may have to do that one. Relinquishment. There, I spit it out. How do you want me to just start number 7 over? Give me the hand signal. Okay. So folks, we're moving on to number 7, the first reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, amending the licensing regulations for liquor licenses, providing for automatic reduction in the number of license upon relinquishment by a licensee or revocation. Currently, Village Municipal Code requires that the Village Board to take action and modify the number of liquor licenses available anytime a licensee voluntarily or involuntarily relinquishes its liquor license. The Village desires to amend the codes that the number of liquor licenses available is automatically reduced upon notice from a licensee that it is voluntarily relinquishing its liquor license or the license is otherwise revoked. So folks, number 7 is pretty easy. Anytime someone turns in their liquor license, doesn't want it anymore, the number of licenses automatically reduces in municipal code. So we do not have to have an ordinance take it to the board to reduce the number of liquor licenses for any particular license. Could be a AAA, could be a AA, etc. So it's much easier, it's much smoother this way. So moving on to number 8 for Monday night, August 13th, is a second and final reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois modifying parking restrictions near North Elementary School. During morning student drop-off and afternoon student pickup, buses have had difficulty entering and leaving the area around North Elementary School. As a result, staff at North Elementary School, along with representatives from the school bus company, have reached out to the village to discuss possible solutions to traffic concerns. The proposed ordinance changes are the result of meetings between the school, the bus company, the Traffic and Safety Commission, and the village. To implement the changes and amendment to sections 14-105B, one-way streets, 14-203A and C, same restrictions for school days, and 14-204B, loading zones, and 14-207, no parking zones, is required. So folks, again, this is number 8 for Monday night. And we've actually implemented these traffic solutions over a year ago through an emergency police order. And because for last school year, we tested it out through the emergency police order and found that they worked really well. And now we're going to codify code. And then we'll remove, obviously, the police emergency order and codify code, and these will be permanent now. So moving on to number 9 for Monday night is an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, providing for the issuance of general obligation refunding bonds, alternate revenue source, Series 2018C of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, for the purpose of refunding all or a portion of the village's outstanding general obligation bonds, alternate revenue source, Series 2009A, and taxable general obligation bonds, alternate revenue source, Series 2009B. In 2009, the village issued 2 series of bonds relating to the North Avenue TIF that can now be refunded for savings due to lower interest rates. This ordinance will authorize the issuance of alternate revenue bonds, Series 2018C, which will refinance the 2009A and 2009B bonds. Due to the nature of the bond market and consistent with prior bond sales, the bonds will be priced on Monday, August 13th. If rates are favorable as expected, a completed version of this ordinance will be distributed on Monday. This action is continuing the village's strategy to address insufficient TIF 3 revenue and maintain level property tax supported debt payments. So folks, we're going to refund some bonds that the village sold in 2009. It's the 2009 A and B series. Refund those so that we can save some money using lower interest rates and still pay the bonds off in the normal time period, the maturity. So save some money and move forward in a positive manner. Sounds very good to me. Monday we'll have a conference call, see what the bond rates are, and then Monday night we'll put those into the ordinance, the rates, and then the individual amounts that will be paid, principal and interest of each successive year. So moving on to number 10 is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a purchase and sale agreement for 257 to 277 East North Avenue. The village received an offer to purchase the 2.7 acres of surplus property located at 257 to 277 East North Avenue from Benderson Realty Development Incorporated for $960,000. The developer plans to consolidate over 5 acres of land in the area to build a new Delta Sonic, a full-service car wash and gas station. This new development would significantly improve the vacant and underutilized property along a prominent stretch of North Avenue. So folks, the Village of Villa Park owns this particular property, 257 to 277 East North Avenue. It's been vacant for a number of years. So we have a viable developer realty company that wants to purchase this property for $960,000. And so hopefully This will be approved Monday night, and we'll move through the process of selling this property and redeveloping it to a new Delta Sonic car wash, gas station, convenience store. So I think that'd be great for the village. That'd provide extra property tax, sales tax, fuel tax, and as I understand, they do a fantastic job washing cars, and they wipe them off by hand. Great addition to that area of North Avenue. So moving on to number 11, which would be a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving final change order number 1 to the 2018 North Ardmore Avenue retaining wall project for an addition in the amount of $14,798.85. The village has a contract with Alliance Contractors, Inc. of Woodstock, Illinois for the 2018 North Ardmore Avenue retaining wall project. Proposed final change order number 1 consists of the final balancing of contract quantities as measured in the field. The net amount of the final change order is an addition of $14,798.85 for an adjusted final contract amount of $106,236.92. So folks, number 11 is discussing the Ardmore Bridge retaining wall. It's on the east side of the bridge. When we went to construct the retaining wall, we found that Nicor had a major gas line underneath the proposed alignment of the retaining wall. So we had to remove the retaining wall and push it back several feet, if you will, from the Nicor high pressure gas mains. Probably a good idea. And so we did that, and it actually, as you can tell, it cost $14,000 or so to do that. So now it's not in conflict with the high pressure gas main, and the project's done, so we're closing it out, and this will be the final change order. So moving on to number 12 for Monday night, August 13th, is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing the submittal of an application for funding of the Jackson Pond Overflow Project under the Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Program, and authorizing a representative to sign an agreement if funding is awarded. Staff wishes to proceed with construction of the first phase of the Jackson Pond Improvement Project. This project will consist of the construction of an overflow stormwater detention basin and an overflow channel on the village-owned property downstream of Jackson Pond, as well as minor expansion of the existing Jackson Pond detention basin itself. Funding for a portion of the construction of the project has already been earmarked under the Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Program. A resolution authorizing the submittal of an application and the subsequent signing of an agreement is required as a condition of the grant program. The estimated total cost of construction of this project is $2,379,000. The village expects to receive up to $550,000 in grant funding for construction costs. So folks, number 12 is we need a resolution authorizing the signing of the application so that we can submit the application to receive the $550,000. And once we start moving forward, then this project will be eligible for additional grant funding as well. Moving on to number 13 is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a license agreement for a portion of the public right-of-way between the Village of Villa Park and the owner of 955 North Ellsworth Avenue, Villa Park, Illinois. The property owner at 955 North Ellsworth Avenue wishes to install and maintain a walkway between the existing building and the curb in the right-of-way. A license agreement would be needed to grant the property owner permission to install and maintain the walkway. The property owner will assume all future maintenance of the walkway. The license agreement would be revocable in case the right-of-way is needed for public purpose. So folks, we have a business located on North Ellsworth Avenue that would like to install a walkway on village right-of-way, and a license agreement is needed. And we've done this many times, and this is kind of the process we follow. It's a license agreement that's approved by the village board of trustees, and then the property owner is responsible for all future maintenance, construction, and so forth. So moving on to number 14 for Monday night, August 13th, is a resolution expressing official intent regarding certain capital expenditures for the purchase of equipment, including trucks, mowers, squad cars, fire engines, and maintenance vehicles, park building renovations, park roof replacement, and sewer improvements to be reimbursed from proceeds of an obligation to be issued by the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois. In 2017, the village refunded debt certificates with alternate revenue bonds that will require rollover bonds to be issued each year using our non-home rule debt service extension base, also known as DSUB. These rollover bonds provide dollars to be used for capital projects, debt payments, and we will be using a portion of the proceeds as an additional contribution to public safety pensions. This reimbursement resolution allows the village to pay for certain budgeted capital projects before we issue the rollover bonds later this year. So folks, number 14 discusses a resolution expressing the intent to use proceeds from the rollover bonds to purchase capital projects, vehicles, and also roof repairs, other improvements, and also uses some of the proceeds for public safety pensions. And then we'll be issuing these rollover bonds every year, so we'll pay off the rollover bonds in 1 year, issue them again, pay them off, issue them again, and we'll do this for a number of years. And then we'll use the proceeds to pay down principal interest on various bonds and buy capital projects or capital purchases, if you will. So number 15 for Monday night is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, accepting a proposal to purchase a 2019 Ford F-250 and a 2019 Ford Transit cargo van from Landmark Ford Inc. of Springfield, Illinois, through the Illinois Central Management Service Joint Purchasing Program in the total amount of $61,150. Staff has identified Parks, Buildings, and Grounds vehicles number 258 and number 249 for replacement. Vehicle number 258 is a 1999 Ford 250, which is currently used year-round for mowing and snow removal. Staff requests authorization to purchase a 2019 Ford F-250 regular cab four-wheel drive pickup truck with a Western 8-foot Pro Plus snowplow for its replacement. Vehicle 249 is a 1997 Chevrolet 1500 van, which is currently used by park staff to travel between village sites for maintenance. Staff hopes to replace Vehicle 249 with a 2019 Ford Transit cargo van. Both vehicles would be purchased via the State of Illinois Central Management Services, CMS, Joint Purchasing Program from Landmark Ford of Springfield, Illinois. The total price of the 2019 Ford F-250 is $35,785, and the total price of the 2019 Ford Transit van is $25,365, for a total of $61,150. Funds for the purchase of these vehicles have been budgeted in the Equipment Fund Capital Outlay account number 65502-02401. And folks, number 15 relates to number 14. So the $65,150 will be paid from the capital funds account, but it'll be reimbursed from the DSUB rollover money. And as you can tell, vehicle 248 and 249 are 1999 and 1997 vehicles, which have been used extensively by the Village of Villa Park, and it's really time for those vehicles to be replaced, and they will be sold at auction. We do not want to repurpose those. We've already got our money's worth out of them. It's time to sell those by auction. And folks, when we do that, then we take the auction proceeds and put them back in the equipment replacement fund. So we're always replenishing that money to buy new vehicles. So moving on to number 16 for Monday night is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving the purchase and installation of a replacement emergency generator at Fire Station 82 in an amount not to exceed $52,000. The fire department was awarded a FEMA Assistance to Firefighters grant, also known as an AFG grant. A component of this grant is for the purchase and installation of a replacement emergency generator at Fire Station 82. The village advertised for bids with one contractor submitting a proposal. Staff therefore concluded that MEM Electric Inc. of Villa Park, Illinois be awarded the contract in an amount not to exceed $52,000. Funds for this purchase are available in the Building Improvement Fund, account number 6750202401. Once the project has been completed and all expenses incurred by the village, FEMA will issue reimbursement for the project in the amount of $46,473, or 90% of the cost. So the FEMA grant, the AFG grant, is a 90-10 grant. So 90% reimbursed through FEMA, 10% is the village's share. And folks, this is a replacement emergency generator. So the new generator will replace an old generator that was installed in 2000. We'll take and repurpose that generator. We really need parts from that generator for other generators in village buildings. So it's an old generator, the parts aren't really available anymore. So we're going to replace that generator and then take that generator and part it out for the other generators that we have for other buildings. So we will not auction that off. So moving on to number 17 for Monday night, August 13th, is public comments on non-agenda items. Folks, that's the appropriate time for anyone in the audience to come to the podium and address the President, Board of Trustees, and staff about concerns or compliments they have on items that are not on the agenda. Number 18 is the village clerk's report. Number 19 is the village trustees report. Number 20 is the village president's report. Number 21 is the village manager's report, my report. Number 22 is the executive closed session, and we will have an executive closed session on Monday night. But when we come out of executive closed session, there is no action items. So we have A for executive closed session, which is 5 ILCS 120-2C1, personnel matters. We have C2, collective bargaining matters. We have C5, purchase or lease of property. We have C6, sale or lease of property. We have C11, pending litigation. We have C21, discussion of closed session minutes. And then, folks, number 23 for Monday night is adjournment. So we do have some interesting topics. Should be some very good discussion occurring. So I hope you have time to tune in or come in person. And this is still during the month of August, folks. I hope you're out and about in the community and are visiting our Cortese Thursday night concerts or our automobile shows. Plenty things to do. Still have a lot of warm weather left before we reach the colder temperatures. So again, my name is Rich Keener. It's my honor to be your village manager, and I hope to see you out on the one of the Prairie Paths in the community at a concert. So take care, and I'll see you soon.